Welcome to the RISE Project podcast. My name is Ingi Vívill and I'm your host. And in this series, we interview the owners of small businesses in Iceland that share the common thread of being foreign nationals and owning and running a business in Iceland. And with us today, we have Matt, who is the owner of Sætahúsið, which is, what can I say? A delicacy shop or cafe in Laugavegur, right?
Yeah.
And welcome.
Hi, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
Sætahúsið. Can you tell me a little bit, because I looked at your Facebook page and your Instagram and the web page, and I was this close to postponing the interview because I was gonna head up there. And it's really, really delicious. How does one start in these marvelous delicacies?
So basically, the idea just came to me, like living here for a while. I decided to start my own business because I want to bring something new.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I do rolled ice cream. You have never had it before here in Iceland. So I was like seeing that the restaurant market is missing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just decided to check everything and what machine do I need and how do I do it. So yeah, I just decided to try it out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But I think that's really interesting because, like we were talking about here a little prior to the interview, that the Icelandic ice cream market was definitely ripe for innovation. We have had this ice cream in a cone with either candy on top or sauce. So so the idea for Sætahúsið comes out of what you see as a gap in the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, as I said, originally it's from Thailand, but it is also very popular in Poland. Okay. So I'm Insta baby, so I'm checking the online things. So I just saw it's hyping right now, the rolled ice cream.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about business to start on my own. So I saw that there's a lack here in Iceland.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Icelanders love ice cream. They're gonna go love it. So
I think we are the only nation in where people say in 10 degrees below zero with definite snow and everything, where people say we should go out for an ice cream.
Yeah, that's actually true. After this winter, I mean, it's also difficult to say, but still people were coming for ice cream. Mm-hmm. What I meant about difficult to say, we had COVID, so not many people were coming. It was lockdown. So I think the past winter was totally different than the next winter is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. So you started your firm right in the eye of the storm of COVID.
Yeah, so actually the idea came to me...
That is very brave, I have to say.
Yeah, actually the idea came to me just after the government stopped the first lockdown, I think. It was the previous summer. Mm-hmm. So, until I got the local, I had to, find out who is the owner, get to contact, rent the place. Mm-hmm. Then I started preparing, so I did everything on my own. All renovation I did with my hands. All you see, tables, bar, benches, anything inside, I did just by myself.
Yeah.
And so all of that took a long of time. And then also permit in Iceland to get is very difficult, especially that there was never anything connected to food.
Yeah.
So I had to start from the beginning, which took actually even more, I think, because I was waiting for the permit 7 months. So I signed the contract for the place in October, and I got the permit 11th of May.
Oh my!
Yeah.
That is but how did you manage in the meantime? I mean, a store a store in Laugavegur is, I imagine, not cheap.
Yeah.
So like, how did you manage through that time? And
so I don't know if I was lucky, but like, I think the place is so cute, like the house itself. I've been here for 5 years, so I was passing by and I remember it has been always empty, and I was like wondering why. So then I finally made a deal. I actually negotiated very good price. Like, I told the owner my minimum and he agreed. Sorry, my maximum. And he agreed, so I was very lucky for that. And then also he helped me a lot because during waiting for the permit, he never charged me for the rent. So I just started paying the rent right after like I started. So thanks to Daniel. Yeah, he was it was very nice because like other people could just say, you sign the contract, you have to pay, and then I would be bankrupt before I started.
No, and this is like a story that I like, a common thread that I very often hear, that behind a successful startup, or a startup that, well, basically gets off its feet and starts running, that there is a person or a benefactor that is willing to help them in that direction.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was the same with many of my previous firms. So, but you mentioned that you had come here to Iceland 5 years ago from Poland, right?
Yeah, I'm Polish.
Yeah, you're Polish by, like, what drove you here, like to the to this to this northern point of the world? But I mean, we do love ice cream, so that is a reason in itself.
So yeah, I actually started the business like after 5 years. I always want to own a place, that's for sure. I graduated as like cooking school, so I'm like connected to this industry. And Iceland was always my dream since I actually started like geographic classes. So I remember like the tiny island in the north. I always went to see, like, especially seeing the landscapes and everything. But to be honest, like, working in Poland, I could never afford it, So first what I did, I actually moved to Greece. So it's like totally different direction. I went there with my friend. We went for like a summer season to work. I was working as a bartender. And then I came back to Poland and I was like, I don't really want to stay here. I want to explore more, So then I read a lot about Iceland. Like, I don't know if you know about it, but it's also very connected, our like city Krakow, with Iceland, I would say. There was even in the university like the languages night, and you could take Icelandic lesson.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And so then we had a lot of concerts of Icelandic artists. Like, there's a very like unknown even here artist, Mera Rose. Yeah. So I've been at her concerts twice in Poland, in Krakow.
Okay.
So I was like very into music and landscapes. So coming back from Greece, I just decided to buy one-way ticket to Iceland and see what's gonna happen there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That is a very bold move.
Yeah.
But but a very, very good move. I speak on behalf of the Icelandic people here with the delicacies in your shop. So okay, but so like Sætahús is your first firm that you're starting.
So I had like my own business in Poland for a while, but it was not even connected to like the food industry. And so basically, yeah, like the like first, for sure, like like seriously.
Yeah.
So like the first one seriously, which I've done actually from the beginning until not the end yet.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so that's my first step I did, and especially here in Iceland, in a foreign country. Yeah.
I think this is also a common thread that I hear very often from people that have adopted or live the startup lifestyle, because in many ways this is a lifestyle. Like you said, the first time we booked, you had to cancel because an employee had gotten sick.
Yeah.
So I mean, who has to step in? It's you, the owner. It is a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is actually. if you decide for the business, you don't have your own life, like private life for a while. Like, I think like there's like many times that I have to, you know, like decide it's business or me. And I mean, to survive, I have to get money. So at the end, it's business. But hopefully, like after some time when I work hard, it's gonna turn back, and you know, like let's say maybe 2 or 3 years, it's gonna be easier. And yeah, like for example, my birthday last October, I was planning to go to Brazil, but then the sales like just dropped very much, and I canceled my trip. So hopefully, I will be able to do it this summer at least or something. But yeah, there's like always something, you know.
You were planning a trip to Brazil, but all of a sudden sales plummet, and hence, well, no vacation for me then.
Yeah, like especially for birthdays. So you know, I was really disappointed. But then, yeah, I was like, I mean, I could go, but probably then my shop would just go so bad that I could just come back to nothing. So you know, the smart thing was like to just postpone it. For now.
Yeah. I think that is interesting. I think this is an interesting point that you make here, because a lot of people that I have talked to who haven't like ventured into a startup or start a business, that they ask like, but why do you do it? You work so much, and there are months like where there's so little pay. Why do you do it? And from my point of view, I've said, I mean, this is who I am. I mean, I am the things that I do, and the products that I make, and everything, because it's not only a job, it's also a lifestyle, and in some instances, it's even a hobby as well.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's just a passion, you know, like
a passion.
I was always passionate about like food. As I said, I went to cooking school. So I was always into it, and I always want to have my own place. I knew how much does it cost, but also like I was managing places for someone, and then I was doing the same. So I didn't have my private life because I was doing it for somebody, and now at least I do it for myself, you know. So there's also a difference, and yeah, I think mostly is the passion, and I love to see people, you know, make them happy, and just provide good service and bring good food to the table and host people. Even in private life.
But like, as we've been through some of the like more personal aspects of running a business I want to ask you a little bit about running a business in Iceland. Like, how do you? And you told me you said that you have experience from doing it in Poland, but in a different role. Like, how do you feel a difference between the two countries in terms of like regulations? We talked about regulations and permits earlier.
I would say yes. First of all, Poland belongs to European Union, so we have a lot of grants for beginners, which helps a lot. So you know, it's totally different than here because Iceland is an independent country on this way. So maybe I didn't know, but I was also asking and looking, and like there was not really help, you know, for beginners. Like also during the COVID. I was trying to get some grants because like my sales dropped a lot, but there was actually nothing because I didn't get the permit for alcohol. I mean, I didn't have the permit for alcohol, but also I applied for it, but I never got it. So it's like, you know, a circle without any like solution. Yeah, because actually some people might ask why alcohol in ice cream shop. But actually the idea was to have, you know, like cocktails and like ice cream, so like young cool people could come and just chill down over there. And also I was planning to make like ice cream with some Prosecco, for example, or Malibu, you know, some cool like kind of alcoholic ice cream desserts. But yeah, so coming back to the question, I think it's different. I would say in Poland it's easier because of the like European Union thing. But at the end, it wasn't that hard. And also here, you have to wait a lot. So in Poland, when you open a business, like it's like this, you just open and the next day I think you can start. And here, just to get Kenitala, I think you have to wait 3 weeks, like the HWF Kenitala.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know they. I know this. This is something that the government has been, like, it has been on their radar for some while, but to some extent, I do not think that there's a lot of knowledge about how small businesses are changing, because and how they are evolving. Because for what I have seen at least, small and mostly small businesses and even micro businesses, they are very often focused on a niche. You know, like they have a small area of expertise that is just like that is what they're all about. And I mean, you see this in so many different areas of both business and even entertainment. And so
I also think like Iceland is very small community, like it's tiny country, I would say. So it's also like there's a lack of many things, and people don't know about it. So sometimes, you know, like you have to like get really good promotion and promote the place, and then you're again getting into the point, you know, like to be seen, to just like get like new customers, like to be more famous or like something like that, like just to gain some more people. And also I would say that when I came to Iceland, there was like many, like much less places than right now, like restaurants, like the food business is growing up. So like, for example, in Poland, in big city like Warsaw or Krakow, you have like totally different level of restaurants than here, you know, but this is improving as well. Like there's more and more new restaurants and places with food which are better. Like Iceland is doing well.
I think it's interesting because I mean, like I was saying, with the specialization, it can be difficult to be thriving in a small community, in a small market area, where you are doing something that is very highly specialized. It means that your customer group is, I mean, the group you can reach is smaller than.
Yeah, of course. You know, like it's very difficult when you start something new because people are not really convinced to that. So it's like sometimes people just come, see like ice cream shop, so they would just enter. They ask me like, oh, do you have ice cream cone? And like, oh, I'm really sorry, but only rolled ice cream. Oh, what is this? So I'm trying to explain. They're like, no, thank you. So they leave. You know, they are not like willing to try. But then I have also a lot of customers. They come first time. They try like they're like, okay, I will just try the small size because I've never tried it before. And then they finish it. They come for another one, but big one this time. So it's, you know, like I have a lot of regular customers right now. So I'm like happy. Like I see a lot of same faces very often. So yeah.
And your shop is in a location that is pretty frequented by tourists. Like so in the aftermath of COVID, we see more and more tourists coming to Iceland. So how has this affected your first year?
I would say, like as I said, we had the lockdown during the winter, and to be honest, during the winter I had only foreign customers. So they saved my life, I would say. But you can also see, like, if you're in this area, like how it is growing, like how many people is coming, like month by month, more and more, like on Laugavegur. So I could just feel that COVID is finished, like it's over.
But like in terms of, since we are talking customers and marketing, like what are the channels and ways that you use to advertise?
So I opened the shop on Thursday, and of course my friends knew it. So the first day when I opened, I had a lot of friends coming to try and congratulate me and everything. And this day was nice, so I didn't have an expectation for like any other days. And the next day, it was Friday. Also in the beginning, I didn't have any logo or anything outside, so it was just trying the first few days, and no one would enter for a whole day. And I was like ready to close. I was like preparing, and then some couple, it was tourists. They came just for a coffee. So the second day was like terrible. I was like, oh my god, how I'm gonna do it? Like I have to advertise somehow. So since we have a very big community of Polish people here, we have also a Facebook group, like Polish people in Iceland. So I was like, hey guys, I'm Polish and I just opened this ice cream shop. I advertised there. And it was crazy. So the first weekend was like very crazy. There was a lot of Polish people, and slowly it was picking up. Like people from the street were coming. Like some people saw my Instagram. I think I was also advertising in Instagram for like first weeks. So people were coming like just to check, just to see, and yeah. And I mean, for the first summer last year, I think we did very well. Like. It was pretty busy, like, during the weekends, I had like 3 employees on the shift, on the weekends, and then during the daytime, like weekdays, we had like 2 people working. So hopefully this summer is gonna be better.
Yeah, I truly hope so. And I mean, coming from the COVID period, things can only get better.
Yeah, that's true.
But I also want to ask you about because we talked a little about the permits and all of these things for starting a business. I want to ask you a bit about like the more logistics sides of your business, like about bookkeeping and those kind of things. How do you approach these things? Do you have a bookkeeper or?
Yeah, so like for example, to run the local, I had to have like the how to say real estate agent. So I did it through the like another company. And then bookkeeper, I found also, since we have like Polish community, I found her on Polish Facebook group. She has been here, I think, for like 15 years or something. She's pretty good. Like she's working for full time and she's like doing some smaller businesses on the side. So yeah, she's also like very helpful. She helps me a lot with all these taxes counting and everything, which is crazy. And I don't really have time for that. Like if I'm most of the time like on the side, it's difficult to do like the other job, like bookkeeping. So even like if you like start a business here in Iceland and it's a HWF, you have to have a bookkeeper. Like you have to like write who is it.
Do you feel there's do you feel that there's a big stronghold within this the Polish community in Iceland that they have been supportive of you starting a business, even though I mean like just of the general community?
Yeah, I think like Polish people are very supportive. So it's also we have Polish markets. So I've never noticed because I live like pretty far away, but always when I'm next to it, I just go to buy something Polish. But then a friend of mine told me that there are Polish people that would just go to the Polish market, even if it's more expensive, just to support Polish community.
Now that we are nearing an end of this episode, looking back, what like with the knowledge and experience that you have today of running your firm, sorry, I'm gonna repeat this one. Looking back, what with all of your experience that you have today, what advice would you give Matt that is starting out running his business?
I think I would never go for a place or like local without any permits, because I like the waiting time, it was the worst in my life. I was like getting really depressed. It was taking forever. And I didn't have any income. I didn't work anywhere, so it was like pretty difficult because I was like spending my savings. So I just want to start as soon as possible, and it was just postponed. Something happened, so I think I would never jump into a place without permit. I think it's better to like take over a place and start over there. But I think that's it. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy and satisfied right now.
Mm-hmm. I think these are great last words. Thank you for coming on the show, Matt.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Make sure to check out Sætahúsið on Instagram and Facebook and all the other medias. And last but not least, check them out in real person. See you next week, and thank you.